to say the least, that night was awkward. Having to face my parents and confess all this failure, honestly, all this brokenness, I just felt ashamed. And there's always that point in those times when talking can't accomplish anything else. So all we had left was our emotion. And I just kind of walked over to my mom and I curled up in her arms and I just cried. 25 years old, crying like an infant. And my dad, he was sitting on the other side of the room, and I could sense his disappointment. I think he was upset. I think he was embarrassed. I mean, he was hurt too. And he walked over to me and he picked me up in his arms and lifted me up and just held me. And I stood there and I kind of fell into his chest, and as he held me, he began to whisper into my ear, "Jake, it's going to be all right." And he held me with the type of confidence that even though my dad was broken, even though he was hurt too, he held me and whispered into me with some type of confidence that said he knew what it was going to take. That he knew that we could resurrect out of this moment, And so when he cried, his tears were different. And as I cried, his posture was different. I think back to that moment, something I'll never forget is that we both were crying together. But Dad cried with a hope I didn't have.